Hi, boys and girls. As you probably figured out by now, Screencastify isn't working. Well, actually, they're not sure if that's working, or Google Classroom, or a couple other programs. And while they all argue back and forth, we've got to move ahead. So sorry for the less than perfect filming again today, but I'm going back to iMovie. So you shouldn't have any problem pausing it right now. What I'd like you to do is do page 137 and 138 in your math notebook, workbook. And once you finish that, I want you to come back and I'll just briefly go through the answers. This is more of a review than anything else. We had talked about the fact when something multiplies, it moves, the decimal point moves to the right. And so that makes it bigger, right? And so it moves to the right for every zero you see. So if it was multiplied by 10, it'd move one place, by 100, two places, etc. Same thing, just the opposite with dividing. It'd move to the left to make it smaller, right? So with that, go ahead and do those 2 pages, pause it, and come back. Okay, so welcome back. Here we go. On the first problem, you notice there's a pattern. They're showing what the number does if it multiplies. It's getting bigger, right? Notice how it keeps going to the right, right? And the numbers go left, however you want to look at it. So if I look at this number here and I say 50 times 10, you know that it's going to go this way, and therefore it would be 500. And if you want to put 500.0, that's fine. You'll also notice that I guess you could look at it 2 different ways. The easiest one to me on this one is, well, if I divided 5/10 by 10, then it's going to go this direction. So it'd be 0.05. And that makes sense, because if I multiply by 10, it's going to move over one place, and there it is. Make sense? All right, let's go to the other one. So I'm going to do what's ever easiest. So if I multiply 2700ths by 10, it's going to go this direction like that, and I'd get 2.7. If I multiply 2.7 times 10, it'd move one more place, and it being 27 or 27.0. So up here, to me, it's easiest to look at the multiplication. So if I take 27 and multiply it by 10, it's going to go one place over here, and it'd be 270. If you want to put the 0.0, that's fine. Okay? And you could go back the other way and check it by dividing too, noticing it's moving this direction every time I divide it by a power of 10. All right, number 2. Let's move it up a little bit. Okay, number 2, the second part. Sorry, you can't see it, but it's right here. So it says, use the decimal point pattern diagrams above to help you find each product or quotient. Well, really what they're saying again is for every 0 you see, move it twice. So if I move it twice times 100, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put a couple zeros in there too. I'll go 1, 2. So you should have had 50. Or if you want to put 50.0. 0.5 times 10, well, it's going to go 1, 2. And that means that is also going to be 50. Because you remember 10 squared means 10 times 10, that equals 100, whatever works easier for you. 5 divided by 10, well, it'd be like this. Oh, excuse me, by 100. So I'd go 1, 2, 0.05. Okay? Or if you want 0.050, whatever makes sense to you. 5 divided by 10 squared, well, 10 squared is the same as 100, so it's going to be the same. All right, 2700ths times 1,000, it'd go 1, 2, 3. That would be 270. 10 to the third is same as 1,000. Those are the 3 zeros, so it'd be the same answer. And down here, 2,700 divided by 1,000. Well, if you do that, it would go 1, 2, 3. You would get 2.7. And again, 10 to the third power is the same as 1,000. Remember, it's 10 times 10 times 10. That's 3 zeros, so you'd get the same answer. It's the same thing. Okay, turn it over. Complete each row with the product. We're on page 138, and it says Complete each row with the product shown to the right of that row. So, ones, tens, hundredths. So all we're doing is saying, okay, 4 thousandths times 10 to the first power, that means 10, it's going to go over here. So I would get 0.04. And if you want to put a 0, that's fine. And how about 0.04 times 10? Well, you'd go 10 squared, excuse me. That'd be times 100, so I just go 1, 2. I'd have 0.4, and then you'd put the zeros in if you want. I guess since we're doing thousands, we need to show that. And then 4 thousandths times 10 to the third. 1, 2, 3. Because there's 3, that would be 1,000. So I'd get 4.00. And by the way, to read these correctly, that would say 4 thousandths, that would say 4 hundredths, and that would say 4 tenths. You could also say this just 4. Of course, you could name it by thousandths too. 4 thousandths, 40 thousandths, 400 thousandths, and I guess 4,000 thousandths if you want to look at it that way. Or 4 and no thousandths, I guess. Okay, next one. Complete each row with the quotient shown to the right of that row. Oh, no, it says quotient this time. First it was product, now we're quotient. We're talking about dividing. What is 4 divided by 10? So if I'm dividing it by 10, remember the decimal place is always to the right of a whole number? It just goes like this, right? So I'd have 0.4. If I divide it by 10, here I could do it down here even if you're not sure what I'm doing. And if I'm dividing it by 10, it's getting smaller, so I go 1, 2, 0.04. And again, I guess we should put these in here because they're originally working with that. It doesn't really matter, but. And then the last one, 4 divided by 10 to the 3. So it's going to go here and go over 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So I would get 0. Zero. Oh, wait, you know what? 4 divided 1, 2. Oh, you know what? I thought there's something wrong. 4. So that, wow, I only moved it 2 places and there's 3 here. Make sure you don't make that mistake. Okay, number 5. Let's move this up a little bit. It says, look at the decimal pattern diagrams and the place value charts. Compare how they show patterns in the placement of the decimal point when you multiply or divide by a decimal by a power of 10. Well, there's a lot of things we could make, but why don't we just make a real general statement here? If you multiply by a power of 10, comma, it moves 1 place to the right. And then the other side of that argument, I guess, or discussion would be, if you divide by a power of 10, I should say it, I should say, I don't like that, boys and girls. Let's make it say decimal point. The decimal point moves to the left. Okay, if you multiply by a power of 10, the decimal point moves to the left for every power of 10. Oh. I'll say to the left for every 0. If you multiply by a power of 10, let's change that. I don't like the decimal point. Moves one place to the right for every 0. Makes sense. So if I multiplied something by 10, it would move one place to the right. 100, it would move 2 places to the right. 1,000, it would move 3 places to the right. And division would be just the opposite. Okay, let's move and look at the last problem here. It says number 6. Show how to find the products of 1900ths and 10 to the 3rd power. Well, if this would be 3 zeros in essence, right? That represents 1,000. So I just take it like this. Oops, helps if I copy it, right? I'll take 0.19, multiply it by, and let's just stick a couple zeros down here. Watch, I'll go 1, 2, 3, which equals 190. Every one of those loops I make shows that I've moved it. And that is it for today. So you don't have to turn this in, but if you do have any questions about anything, be sure to contact me during office hours, all right? Talk to you later. Bye.